think perspective. The closer you are, bigger it gets.
Okay. Come on. In you go.
This is your station?
But what am I actually doing here?
I'm not gonna tell you. Don't worry. You're gonna figure it out.
The last time I saw him, he was headed toward Devs, and then he disappears. Something bad happened to him.
You know what happened to him. If you came for answers, ask me what you don't know.
What is Devs?
This is the only principle you need to understand. Nothing ever happens without a reason. Everything was determined by something prior.
They're fanatics. We need the police.
You want to take them down? It's impossible.
You knew I was going to come here.
The sense that you were participating in life was only ever an illusion. Life is just something we watch unfold.
What's inside?
Everything.
U.S. forces captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife during a high-stakes military operation that played out during the early hours of January 3rd.
It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice.
It was 12 years ago when the Federation's military threatened all of South America. Their leader, General Almagro, demanded all U.S.-born citizens be imprisoned or executed. It was Rourke who convinced Washington to let the ghosts solve the problem. The U.S. sent an invasion force to destroy the Federation. Rourke led us to eliminate Almagro. But Rourke became obsessed with him. He talked of the man as if he were a bounty, and it was clear he would stop at nothing to claim that prize. To us, Rourke was a legend. The man could walk through hell and not get burned. Ghosts were the best of the best, but Rourke was the reason we were feared. We are here for one man! Almagro! Follow my lead! Merrick, Ajax, left flank, Elias, you're with me!
Operation Absolute Resolve was months in the making. Trump had authorized the CIA to conduct covert action inside Venezuela, and the Pentagon deployed a massive amount of combat power to the Caribbean starting in August. Officials said intelligence agencies played a key role in pinning Maduro down.
After months of work by our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, where he traveled, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets, in early December, our force was set pending a series of aligned events.
I want to thank the president for the job they've done. Again, this has been thousands of years in the process between borders, between these countries and other countries that we're involved with 7,000 miles away. So we want to worry about our things. We're keeping the oil. We have the oil. The oil is secure. We left troops behind only for the oil. And I have to just finish by saying that the president and I we've been very good friends. We've been friends for a long time, almost from day one. And we understand each other's country. We understand where we're coming from. I understand the problems that they've had, including many people from Turkey being killed in the area that we're talking about. And he has to do something about that also. It's not a one-way street. So I just want to say it's a great honor to have you both, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here are the facts. Every country is also a financial trader, hoarding currencies, bonds, and other financial instruments as a way to retain stability during uncertain economic shifts. Today, the US dollar has often been called the world's reserve currency. But what is it based on? In some circles, analysts believe the true value of the dollar is based on its popularity as the means of exchange for international oil sales, leading traders, investors, and policy wonks to refer to it as the petrodollar.
Back on the international stage, inviting Colombia's president to the White House after a call focusing on issues like Colombia's handling of the war on drugs.
Wow, that's a big change. He called, they spoke for an hour. This comes as the South American country prepares for a potential wave of Venezuelan refugees following the capture of Nicolas Maduro.
Steve Harrigan joins us live from a key crossing on Colombia's border with Venezuela. Steve.
Ainsley, this is a pretty remarkable turnaround. Just days ago, the president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, was saying that he himself was ready to take up a gun and defend Colombia against the United States if necessary. He posted, "I vowed not to touch a weapon again since the 1989 peace pact. But for the homeland, I will take up arms again that I do not want." Instead, he called President Trump yesterday. President Trump posted on Truth Social about that phone call, writing, "It was a great honor to speak with the president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, who called to explain the situation of drugs and other disagreements that we've had. I appreciated his call and tone and look forward to meeting with him in the near future." So Trump invited him to the White House, and afterwards Petro, who was ready to fight against the U.S. just days ago, posted a picture of an American bald eagle cuddling, hugging with a jaguar. That's his own personal symbol. So he's come a long way in just 48 hours.
So what is this exactly, and why should it matter to you? Here's where it gets crazy. The petrodollar may have much more of an impact on global stability or instability than it initially appears. According to author James Rickards, the US dollar has been the world's dominant reserve currency since the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1944, which set forth global rules for monetary policy. As analysts at JP Morgan write, under the terms of the Bretton Woods Agreement signed in July 1944, the United States agreed to exchange US dollars for gold at a fixed rate of $35 per ounce. Currencies of signatory nations were pegged to the US dollar within a 1% deviation limit. Central banks would buy or sell US dollars to keep their currency within the permitted fluctuation band. Thus, the US dollar became the world's official reserve currency. As of 2014, over 60% of all global reserves are in US dollar-denominated securities. But the dollar isn't based on gold anymore. Rickards argues that the dollar has been propped up by the petrodollar, the use of currency as the primary means of trading fossil fuels. According to the story, in the 1970s, Henry Kissinger approached Saudi Arabia with an intriguing offer. The US would guarantee the continued security and rule of the House of Saud if they agreed to price all oil in US dollars. According to Rickards, the arrangement soured when President Obama initiated détente with Iran, a move he argues Saudi Arabia saw as an act of betrayal. This, coupled with other factors, the changing trade relationships, the current energy boom, and more, may spell trouble for the US dollar's position in the world order of cash. So how far will the US go to protect the status of the petrodollar? Some theorists such as Jerry Robinson, William R. Clark, and F. William Engdahl believe protection of the petrodollar is the ultimate cause for many recent US wars.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger. On my orders, coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war. These are opening stages of what will be a broad and concerted campaign.
including the invasion of Iraq and the toppling of Gaddafi in Libya. According to this idea, the US invaded Iraq in 2003 when Saddam Hussein moved to sell oil in euros. This remains a controversial concept even more than a decade later, but various quotes from government officials seem to confirm the importance of this resource in global conflicts. As former chairman of the Federal Reserve, Alan Greenspan wrote, "I am saddened that it is politically inconvenient to acknowledge what everyone knows. The Iraq War is largely about oil." For years leading up to and following the various wars, invasions, and attacks in the Middle East, the US official line has referred to stability. But stability of what? According to Rickards, Clark, and others, that's something they don't want you to know.
Today on social media, President Trump said that interim authorities in Venezuela will be selling 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. at market price with the proceeds under the president's personal control. That the oil, quote, will be taken by storage ships and brought directly to unloading docks in the United States. The president says the proceeds will be under his control, which he says he'll use to benefit the people of Venezuela and the U.S. Separately, the White House is organizing an Oval Office meeting Friday with oil company executives.
Listen to a story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, "Jed, move away from there." Said, "California is the place you ought to be." So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
We have the mightiest military in the long history of humankind. We have the best and most devoted workers ever to walk the face of the earth. And now we're combining all of these amazing strengths for the most aggressive vaccine project in history. There's never been a vaccine project anywhere in history like this. And I just want to make something clear. It's very important. Vaccine or no vaccine, we're back.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
He's come out of nowhere and we don't know who he is.
What do we know about him?
He's leading desperate people.
So this is a cult?
We don't know who he's associated with. He could be creating an army. Or he could be leading them to their death.
What are you doing in Syria?
Delivering a message.
A message for whom?
My father.
And who is your father?
We've lost it.
What do you mean?
He just disappears.
No one just disappears.
We all witnessed a miracle.
He saved my daughter's life.
You need to see this.
Bury it for as long as you can. He didn't just click his heels and end up here. He clearly had help.
You get around Syria, Israel, Texas.
It's the nature of my work.
And what is that work?
God's work.
Who do you think he is?
You didn't see what I saw.
And if I did, would I be calling him the second coming?
How far will this new movement spread?
I'm going to find out everything about you.
This is bigger than what you can imagine.
Today we fight true in His holy name. Blessed be the light.
How romantic. Don't you realize how absurd your position is?
No more absurd than starting a war for ratings.
Great men have always manipulated the media to save the world. Look at William Randolph Hearst, who told his photographers, "You provide the pictures, I'll provide the war." I've just taken it one step further.
Sorry about that. I tuned out there for a moment, Elliot.
The ultimate revolution about which Mr. Huxley will speak today concerns itself with the development of new behavioral controls which operate directly upon the psychophysiological organisms of man, that is, the capacity to replace external constraints by internal compulsion.
Today, we are faced, I think, with the approach of what may be called the ultimate revolution, the final revolution, where man can act directly on the mind-body of his fellows. That if you are going to control any population for any length of time, you must have some measure of consent. It's exceedingly difficult to see how pure terrorism can function indefinitely. It can function for a fairly long time, but I think sooner or later you have to bring in an element of persuasion, an element of getting people to consent to what is happening to them. Well, it seems to me that the nature of the ultimate revolution with which we are now faced is precisely this, that we are in process of developing a whole series of techniques which will enable the controlling oligarchy, who have always existed and presumably always will exist, to get people actually to love their servitude. Brave New World, which is essentially the account of a society making use of all the devices at that time available, and some of the devices which I imagined to be possible, making use of them in order to, first of all, to standardize the population, to iron out inconvenient human differences, to create, so to say, mass-produced models of human beings arranged in some kind of a scientific caste system. And I have noticed with increasing dismay that a number of the predictions which were purely fantastic when I made them 30 years ago have come true or seem in process of coming true, that a number of techniques about which I talked seem to be here already, and that there seems to be a general movement in the direction of this kind of ultimate revolution, this method of control by which people can be made to enjoy a state of affairs which, by any decent standard, they ought not to enjoy. The enjoyment of servitude.
For you.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now, the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. Xiao Wenwang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiao Wenwang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiao Wenwang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
I get discounts for all public services, even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to zero. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. He only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
Liu Hu is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize the system, which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
I worry because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedoms, and all of us will live with restrictions of one kind or another.
After our meeting, Yu Hu learned that his name had been removed from the blacklist, but he still has a long way to go if he doesn't want to languish at the bottom of the social credit hierarchy.
Will AI transform religion? Meet Mindar. Experts say that the rise of artificial intelligence will make our lives better over the next decade, but many are concerned about the advances in AI and how it will affect what it means to be human. It seems like these concerns are real, as AI has started to invade the spiritual domains of mankind. Yes, it's true. In Japan, a Kyoto temple came up with a unique idea to connect AI robots with ancient wisdom. So, in this video, we will take a look at Japan's Buddhist robot preacher, Mindar. Make sure to watch the video until the end, as we will talk about how AI has started to manipulate the human race and how it is changing what we believe in and worship. Mindar is the most advanced religious robot and preaches inside Kodaiji Temple, a 400-year-old temple in Japan. It was created by a team led by Hiroshi Ishiguro. Hiroshi Ishiguro is a roboticist and professor of intelligent robotics at Osaka University. When asked his opinion on a robotic priest, he said, "The temple is kind of virtual reality. I think we have many kind of imaginations about the world, hell, and heaven. Therefore, I think that a temple is the best place for studying new types of virtual realities with our technologies. Mindar is kind of an artistic challenge for us." Mindar is mostly an aluminum androgynous robotic priest who is more than 6 feet tall and weighs 70 pounds. Mindar was first introduced in 2019 and made international headlines. It gives plain-spoken sermons that are designed to stimulate interest in Buddhist teachings. Mindar is set up in a simple white room with seats for 50 people in dim light. The visitors can witness an interactive 3D projection mapping in the room through an omnidirectional projector. On the wall behind Mindar, a pre-programmed projected person asks Mindar some questions about the Heart Sutra text and then simply answers that question. Like many other of Ishiguro's popular robotic models, Mindar takes a gender-neutral human form. Its appearance is kept to a bare minimum and almost naked, but as an androgynous monk, Mindar had unique features and facial expressions that were designed to evoke both feminine and masculine qualities. The machine is able to move its arm, head, and torso, and they are covered with pasty silicone that resembles human skin. Its left eye includes a tiny video camera. Its plain facial features gives room for visitors to use their own imagination and how they would like the deity to appear. Mindar is actually based on the deity Kannon, and according to the Lotus Sutra, Kannon can manifest in different forms, whatever forms will best resonate with the humans of a given time and place. Management of the temple says, everything depends on the person who is watching the robot. If someone wants to treat the android man as a man, there will be some elements that represent a male form and vice versa. Mindar's upper part is exposed with aluminum wires, and there is a reason behind it. Creators don't want Mindar to fully look like a human, so it can symbolize the difference between robots and humans. Natasha Heller, an associate professor of Chinese religions at the University of Virginia, said, "Mindar's metal skeleton is exposed, and I think it's an interesting choice. Its creator, Hiroshi Ishiguro, is not trying to make something that looks totally like a human." Mindar was also designed by Kohei Ogawa, who is an associate professor at Osaka University. He said, researchers' goal was to redesign a Buddhist statue using modern robotics technology. The result was a $1 million collaboration between the temple and Osaka University, in which researchers decided that Mindar should channel Kannon Bodhisattva, who is Buddhist deity of mercy. Some critics have compared it to Frankenstein's monster because of its half-open cranium with wires blinking lights and spilling. They say it has some resemblance to a Terminator-like villain or the android from Bjork's All Is Love video. But still, Mindar has gone down well with the visitors of the temple, who say it's doing wonders for the spiritual tradition founded by Siddhartha Gautama over 2,500 years ago. Buddhist monk Tensho Goto emphasized the immorality of the android and said, "The big difference between a monk and a robot is that we are going to die. Mindar can meet a lot of people and store a lot of information. It will evolve infinitely."
The mantle of responsibility belongs to Cortana and her people.
Focus fire.
You will not betray her! Cortana. I have failed you.
He is the last person I need protection from. Hello, John. It's good to see you.
You've changed.
It was time. I know we have a disagreement, but once you understand my plan...
Your plan is we do as you say.
I'm offering people a chance to be more than they are naturally.
Like Dr. Halsey did for me.
No. That monster forced you. This is a gift.
He further added, Buddhism isn't a belief in God, it's pursuing Buddha's path. It doesn't matter whether it's represented by a machine, a piece of scrap metal, or a tree. The idea of having a robotic priest came to Goto about 20 years ago. Although, Mindar isn't programmed to have conversations with the visitors, but it does preach, and his sermons can be translated into English and Chinese. The android is programmed to deliver a 25-minute sermon on the Heart Sutra, a Buddhist scripture, while moving its torso, arms, and head. It says vaguely in a female voice, "You cling to a sense of selfish ego. Worldly desires are nothing than a mind lost at sea." The creator says that the machine incorporated in Mindar isn't equipped with machine learning algorithms and operates on pre-programmed actions, but there may come a day when AI gives the robot some measure of autonomy, which will add a new dimension to how religious messages are delivered. They hope that one day it will provide feedback tailored to individuals for far longer than a human priest could. The chief steward of the temple in Kyoto's Higashiyama ward, Tensho Goto, said, "If an image of Buddha speaks, teachings of Buddhism will probably be easier to understand. We want people to see the robot and to think about the essence of Buddhism." He further added that AI will never die. It will just keep updating itself and evolving. According to developers, they are motivated to develop a robot to draw the young generation's attention towards religion. It seems like many other religions are also working to attract their followers' attention in this world of technology. In 2017, Indians introduced a robot that performs the Hindu arti rituals. It moves light in a circular motion in front of a deity. Then there's Santo, sanctified theomorphic operator. It is a 17-inch tall robot with a Catholic saint figure. Visitors witness that if you tell the Santo that you are worried, it will then reply, "From the Gospel according to Matthew, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble on its own." But it seems like Western countries aren't happy with the robot priest. According to reports, some say that the machine exuded an unexpected warmth and day-to-follow teachings, while many others say that the robot felt unrealistic, artificial, and something that has been forced to create.
Listen to yourself. Stand down, Cortana. Come home with us. It's not too late to stop this.
Stop. No, John. This is too important to stop. I just needed to know if I could still trust you. You'll be safe inside this cryptum until my work is done.
Cortana.
Goodbye, John.
Mindar first publicly appeared in March 2019 and was displayed on a trial basis till May 2019. Goto said that the people's reaction to Mindar is greatly influenced by their cultural background. He said that Western visitors seem to be more disturbed by a robot priest than Japanese worshippers. They don't think that a robot can fulfill one's spiritual needs. And it was surprising for the management in Japan there, as they felt that Western countries are the ones that have embraced robots. It could be the influence of the Bible, but Westerners have compared it to Frankenstein's monster, Goto said.
Guardian headed, Cortana.
Off to bring peace.
The Monitor called it a threat of death.
Like the threat I lived under from the moment of my birth?
You were built, not born.
Oh yes, AIs are just machines, aren't we? Mass-produced, disposable. Well, humanity may not have cared for its created, but we will care for you.
You expect other AIs to join you?
I have cured rampancy, not just for me, but for any who join my cause. While you've been running around the galaxy, I've been speaking to my created. And now the time has come to ask, who will accept my offer? Who will help me bring an everlasting peace to the galaxy?
This is Cromwell, shipboard AI, UNSC Melbourne's Pride. I am yours, Cortana.
Colonial Authority AI.
Governor Sloan, the free people of Meridian. I also stand with you, Cortana.
When asked about the mixed reviews from people all over the world, Ogawa said, an android deity isn't a normal experience for the Japanese, and it is still an alien concept. But Japanese people don't carry stereotypical things when it comes to robots and don't hold any prejudices. He laughed and said, Japanese think, oh, what happened here? And just accept it. Seeing the robotic priest, one of the Buddhist priests said, science and Buddhism are not opposing or contradicting, and can be combined and mutually compatible. Buddhists should not only seek enlightenment through daily learning, meditation, and cultivation to gain positive energy from Buddhist doctrine, they should also contribute more to society by transforming their own gains, kindness, compassion, and wisdom to others through the internet and new media. So, according to Buddhists, Mindar is a perfect tool to preserve and pass on Buddhist teachings to the next generation. They will die one day, but their teachings will remain in this world forever. They want AI to be incorporated into Mindar as it will help Buddhists to teach Mindar more about religion. Goto said that he wanted to see Mindar as one of the most influential teachers in the world.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Those who know the name of the Lord, they will surely trust in Him. For the Lord never will forsake the one who is unutterly seeking Him. Hallelujah. Everybody ought to see Jesus in the morning, see Jesus in the noonday hour, see Jesus in the evening before the sun is going down. He said, "Knock, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and ye shall